This video was made possible by EA Game Changers. Hello guys, I'm Aveline. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today we are building the last one of the Snowy Escape builds that I did while I had early access. This one is a one-story. It's a very small home. I was trying to, before you question what's going on with the platforms right here, this is actually the first build that I did. So I've kind of released them in the opposite order of how I built them. This was the very first build that I did. So I was trying to get to learn how to use the platforms, for example, and also just going through all the items. I didn't fully know what they looked like and stuff. Or at least how they would look like together when placed down in a build, because I had gone through them for the first impressions video, which is still up on the channel. I'm not sure that I'm releasing that video, to be honest, because I feel like at this point it's kind of useless. I mean, how many first impressions videos have you guys seen by now? Probably a lot, so why would you want to watch another one? It's not like my first impressions are super special or anything like that, you know? So it's not like I have a unique, a unique point of view or whatever, so I'm not sure that I'm gonna release it. I might just sit on the footage and save it or something, I don't know. Anyways, but this was the first build that I did, so when I'm messing up with the platforms, bear with me. I'm still trying to learn them. I thought you could place them down and then place roofing on top of the platforms, but they don't work that way, unfortunately. That would have been super cool. If you could do that, that would be like a top level. I would love that. Imagine all the customization that we could do with roofing and I don't know, stuff like that. That would be great, but it wasn't working for me. I don't know if that was a glitch or if it's supposed to work like that or whatever, but it wasn't working for me, unfortunately. I did, however, place a platform on top of this little cutout entrance. Wait, whoa, you can see me have fun with the platforms right there. Just kind of like lifting or raising it up and down. So yeah, that's basically, that's what we're doing today. We're just building this sort of like modernized kind of Japanese looking house, if it's even Japanese looking. I feel like it is, but it's definitely inspired by a more modernized house, not the traditional looking houses. So we're also using some of the other swatches today because I think for the last two that I did, I went for the more brighter swatches. So white and also beige, but for this house we're going for this kind of like dark medium warm kind of brown, and I love it. There's a couple of swatches that are quite interesting. I don't know how to explain it because I have to use a word that I don't actually know. So it's just like the wood kind of has these lines in them, and in some of the swatches those lines are kind of emphasized, so they're either darker or lighter. I think they're just darker. So the different swatches, like you have the more bland looking ones that I also love, so it's not that I'm using bland as a negative word in this context, but then you also on top of that have the same kind of colors but with these sort of emphasized lines, and I really love those swatches. Some of them are, or specifically one of them is a little bit like the contrast between the lines and the rest of the wood is a little bit much, but with this brown right here, I think it looks beautiful. You can see it on the columns right here if you look closely. It's just, I don't know, it's a nice little detail. So yeah, but big issues with the platforms in this house. I think they were also glitching out on me because they kept, whenever I added a new platform, the other platforms would automatically raise themselves 2 or 3 levels, which was super annoying and not on purpose. I didn't mean to, they just did it automatically, so definitely a glitch. I hope they fix that before it's released to the public. But I do want to say as well, which I've forgotten to mention in the last 2 builds that I did, that this is not the final version. So I am building these houses in an early build, and this is not exactly, like they're still working on different fixes and stuff like that. Also, I'm aware that I'm using tatami wrong in my builds, but I'm learning, okay, I'm learning. I do want to say that in the Genkan, that's not supposed to be tatami. You're supposed to have some kind of like, I think you could have both wooden floors there, but in most of the pictures I've seen, they've had like, so like a path kind of flooring, like rock basically. So I just forgot to change it basically. Sorry about that. Also, there's another thing in this house that the toilet is in the same room as the bathroom. That is not traditional. But that's because I ran out of space, unfortunately. So that was the thing. But usually in these houses, you'll have the toilet will be separate from the bathroom. So they'll still be like, you have to go through the bathroom to get to the toilet, but they'll be separate from each other. I don't really know why that is, but that is a thing. So I should probably read up on that. So I'm gonna do more research before I get access to the pack again. You can trust me on that. I love learning new things. So, but I do like to do the research myself, just so you guys know. Like, it's been a thing since I was a kid. I just like to figure things out on my own. So you guys don't have to tell me. I will go actually figure it out myself. But anyways, so this house is for either 1 or 2 Sims. There's a double bed in the bedroom, and now the platform here on the back has lifted it up again. Actually, no, it hasn't. It's because the whole house is on a platform, actually, because the house is so small and the Genkan has to be on a lower level because otherwise, the whole dirt issue. So that's just tradition, Japanese building tradition. And because of that, I was having issues with the rest of the house being on a higher platform. So basically, the walls are suddenly very, very small. I do feel like, I think I said this in yesterday's build as well, but if you build with medium wall heights or tall walls quite often, you'll love the platforms. Like, you'll be able to use them like crazy. But for me, I often stick to short walls. I think it's gonna be a little bit difficult. However, I'm gonna take on the challenge. I'm definitely very interested in playing around with these platforms. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. But just know that throughout this house, they are definitely cutting the walls very short, just so you know. Also, yes, we're also using tatami in the living room and the bedroom today. I'm not going to be doing that so often from now on, just so you guys know. So anyways, other than that, it's pretty standard house. It's actually almost a starter house, which I was surprised by, but when I checked the price point, it was like 26 or 25,000 or something. I did use a lot of debug for the landscaping, which is where I end up using a lot of money in general. So I feel like that might have helped. Also, because there's not a whole lot of clutter. Usually when I build houses, like I said, I'll use a lot of the budget on either landscaping or decor, but because we're going for the minimalism or Japanese minimalism, obviously we're not using a lot of clutter, so that kind of decreases the price a little bit. And then on top of that, I also used a lot of debug for the landscaping, so again, we're lowering the price by using free stuff for the exterior. So the house is actually not that costly. You could possibly just like cheat it a little bit once you get access to these builds. Hopefully I'll be able to put them on the gallery. I'm gonna use the same approach as I did with my early access eco lifestyle builds that I did manage to upload to the gallery, so hopefully it'll be possible. But I don't know, if something messes up, it's just not, but I'm thinking it'll be possible, so you'll probably find these on the gallery at some point. I'll keep you guys updated on the community tab. But anyways, once you get access to it, if you just cheat your Sims money just like a tiny bit, you'll be able to buy these as well. So this is the other coat hanger that I was talking about yesterday. You see none of them because the other one, there's this one with the mountains, and then there's the other one that's actually made out of skis. And I feel like none of them really fit the vibe of these items, and I'm a little bit confused. Why couldn't they make one that was super minimalistic, very versatile, so you could use it with other furniture as well? Why does one have to have skis in the background? Or like, the coat hangers are pinned onto the skis, kind of. It's like a DIY item. And then this one that we're using today is kind of like small mountains with the coat hangers kind of pinned onto them. So I'm a little bit confused why they chose two that were so stylized when it would have been great to have one coat hanger that was very versatile, very minimalistic or something, because now I can't use these in like contemporary or modern builds because they'll look kind of a little bit too much compared to the rest of the furniture that I'm using. So I don't know, it would have been nice to have one that was a little bit more versatile. I keep talking about the coat hangers, because you guys know that I've been wanting like more clutter, for example, more decor for hallways. So both, like if we had a beanie that we could put on a dresser, or a pair of gloves, maybe even some clutter shoes or boots or something, that would be amazing. I know we have a shoe rack, but that's still like, that's a whole shoe rack. I just want a pair of loose boots that I can place on the ground somewhere. That would be amazing. Or a pair of slippers or something like that. We used to have a lot of that stuff in my childhood home, so I'm kind of missing it for some of the builds that I do, because I tend to do a lot of family builds, as you guys know. But it's nice to have coat hangers. I just wish they were less stylized and more versatile, basically. But anyways, so we're doing the exterior. Did I mention that this is built in the same area as the house that I did yesterday? Did I mention that? I think I was supposed to mention that, and then I forgot. Basically, I'm going through the whole debug catalog right now to try and see if I can find some funky plants and stuff that I can use. Basically just inspired by the plants that are kind of around in this area, because I really want the houses that I do to blend in with the areas. And that is because they're supposed to be in the save file once I get to work on that again. So yeah, I just want to make sure that everything kind of blends in with the surrounding lots and just the surrounding nature and stuff like that. So there's a lot of nature in this area, actually. We are building in the lower right part of the map, so the lower right neighborhood, which is where, I think this is where the bamboo forest is, but I've not looked at the map for a while and I don't have access to it anymore, but I think this is where the bamboo forest is. So this is basically the more naturey kind of luscious naturey area, because there's also the snowy area that's also naturey, but not really luscious because everything is covered in snow and it's cold and the plants are dead, to be honest. To put it bluntly, the plants are dead in that area. I did not build in that area with early access just because I was not really interested in building in the snowy area yet. I feel like, I don't know, I don't want my builds to be covered up in snow all the time, so I just kind of wanted to wait until I have full access again. So we built 2 houses in this area with the naturey surroundings, and then one in the other one where it's like kind of like a town village sort of vibe with the cafes and restaurants and stuff like that. So since I lost access, that sounds so dramatic, I lost access to the pack. That's not what I mean. I just don't have access to it anymore. But since I stopped having access to it, my neighbor's peeing. Ignore that if you can hear it. I am. Anyways, I have done a little bit more research, so I have some builds that I want to do now, and I've been looking at more Japanese houses and stuff just to get more inspiration. But if there's anything you want me to build once I get access to it again, please let me know in the comments. And yeah, I think that is about it. So you can't download this house just yet, but I'm hoping I'll be able to upload it once I get access again and I can transfer the save file into my actual original game. So yeah, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
I'll end up calling my own. We ride around in style, sleeves rolled up, glasses on, and then you make that smile and my heart starts racing when I'm with you. When I'm with you. Can't get enough of this. Being with you is like never-ending sunshine. Feels like everything stops for a while when we look into each other's eyes. How could I ever let you go now when you're looking like that? Can't get enough of this. Being with you is a never-ending sunshine. You got your high heels on.